Hey guys, Kaoiji here. So we actually have something pretty important to cover today. And today we're going to be talking about the fact that the Epic Games Store now houses Phantasy Star Online 2 and will be available to download next week. On February 17th, Phantasy Star Online 2 and the global version of the game will officially be able to be downloaded on the Epic Games Store. This confirmation comes by way of Fred over from the PSO2 team on Twitter. For those of you guys who do not know, Fred leads the marketing team on PSO2. And while most of you might be immediately thinking, oh man, Fortnite dances in Phantasy Star Online 2, this opens the way for that much more, and I'm going to go over that here in a second. But first, if you guys want to do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated, as it really does help out the channel. Phantasy Star Online 2 being on the Epic Games Store is kind of massive when you really think about it. In the global version of the game, it went from being on the Microsoft Store to then finally being able to be released on Steam shortly then after, with the Steam launch then introducing a series of collaborations with Team Fortress 2, Half-Life, and Portal. Now, Epic Games actually has no shortage of titles to be able to pull from in terms of collaborations. Just speaking on collaborations alone, this opens the door to things like Unreal Tournament, Gears of War, Shadow Complex, Infinity Blade, Fortnite, and even more. But now I want you to picture this besides collaborations. Phantasy Star Online 2 is now officially going to be available on every major platform on the PC market, with the only other platform that it won't be available on as far as major markets are concerned is GOG. Though I'm sure give it some time and it might be available on GOG too, which that'll be kind of cool. Now, I mentioned it a little bit ago because people were like, Fortnite and Phantasy Star, oh man. Could you imagine seeing Shiva, Matoi, and Varuna all flossing in the back of like someone's stream? That'll be hilarious. Slightly cringe, but still hilarious. But moving on from that, this now brings an entirely different market of players who have never heard of Phantasy Star over to the global market. You'd be surprised how many people since the inception of the Epic Games Store now only exclusively buy their games on the Epic Games Store. So you're going to have those players who are going to be playing on the Epic Games Store, those players who are going to be playing on Steam, and now the game is pretty much going to be everywhere they look. Now, what does this actually mean in terms of like whether or not it's going to come out on PS4 or even the Switch or PS5 or anything on the other platforms like that? It actually means that it'll be more likely on those platforms, mainly because the Epic Games Store, for all intents and purposes, is in fact a direct competitor to the Microsoft Game Store. It's also a direct competitor to the Steam marketplace, so you should be able to see these things in the future, assuming there's no console exclusivity contracts. So for those of you guys who are using this as a grounds to be able to say, hey, maybe the PS4 or the PS5 version is coming, maybe it's going to be available on a cloud version on the Switch, it's more likely, though I'd wonder if there are any contracts or maybe some infrastructure issues with the Microsoft Azure servers that prevent it from being put on any other console. But what I do want to go ahead and mention is that this is a good thing for Phantasy Star just as a whole. I shouldn't see any comments or any people saying that this is a negative thing, that they're selling out, because the only thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be more players playing Phantasy Star now, especially if they just see the fact that it's available on all these platforms. They can then choose whatever platform they want to do. They can't escape seeing it. This now brings out word of mouth marketing to a whole entirely new level. And then if this does get collaborated with Fortnite, then that means that this is only going to get larger. Originally, I was going to be expecting something like this with the graphics engine update, but I'm sure that the delays had to, shift their timing a little bit. But either way, I still find this as a net win. So now I leave the question off to you. Do you find this something to be excited about? Are you interested? What are your thoughts? Personally, I think there's also going to be a login campaign, so this really doesn't hurt. You might be able to see some Unreal skins. You might even see some Fortnite skins. Who knows? But at this point, this is only just going to be something that everyone's going to be talking about because this is huge. This gives me excitement and hope that there won't be a platform without Phantasy Star Online 2, and that this will only continue to be a massive success when it comes to the global market. But anyway, there's a lot of speculation that I could bring out here just in terms of like the marketing and business side of things, but I'm going to leave that for another day. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video out here. Thank you guys again for watching as always. For those of you guys who just skipped to the end of the video, this comes out on February 17th on the Epic Games Store, and a whole bunch of other cool things are going to be available as well. But anyway, guys, stay awesome, stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.